Hi, and welcome to our today's TTN conference workshop about integrating TTN into Akenza. My name is Jonas Schmid. I'm co-CEO and responsible for business of Akenza, and I'm very happy to be here with you today and lead you through this presentation. With me in the call is also Lucas, our IoT solution architect. He will give you a live presentation afterwards of what we have been talking about. As a short introduction about Akenza and about what we do, we have been founded in 2017 in Switzerland to deliver fast, easy, and cost-effective IoT solutions. We're headquartered in Zurich, Switzerland, and we also have a team in Amsterdam, in Belgrade, in Helsinki, and in Tel Aviv. We're something between 25 and 30 people at the moment, all of them very dedicated to support you in your IoT mission. Our goal is to radically simplify your IoT onboarding process. We want you to focus on the last mile of your IoT application, reduce the time that you need to build your IoT cases, and actually create value instead of infrastructure. The Akenza Core is our product that we built and that we have designed on our own. It consists of a data gateway and an API on both sides. It has BI modules, which is the part where we can actually visualize data very easily. One of our core focuses is the connectivity management. This is the topic that we will talk about in the live demo as well. The connectivity management enables you to integrate various connectivities. You can work with LoRaWAN here, for example, with TTN, but you can also connect cellular data to it, HTTPS data, MQTT data, and we have deep integrations into various network providers. We support you in the device data processing. If you work with LoRa, you know that you have to normalize that data stream that is coming in. We have a solution that is called device type, where we support you in easily and processing your device data. We have an advanced rule engine supporting you with different thresholds and rules, especially also rules to send data over the API. And we do the whole device management, the whole metadata management of your devices, where you can also use the rule engine again, for example, for battery states, for your spreading factors, and so on and so forth. And we store your data, enabling your API to actually access the data through data storage. As said, there's various protocols going into the data gateway, just represented by 3 of them here. We think that an IoT system such as represented here should enable you to use either your existing ERP systems or your custom applications. You have to define what you want to add on the API. Our BI modules, some of you might have seen them already, for example, in the facility management sector, are specific visualizations for certain topics, but mainly we want you to focus on your custom applications, on your solutions. And this part here, this infrastructure part, should not be a big concern for you. We're talking about natively integrating TTN into the Akenza Core today, and we want to support you in doing that, because this enables you to synchronize and manage your existing and new devices from one single user interface alongside other network and sensor technologies. Imagine that the whole LoRa market came from very vertical solutions, and we are going in a direction now where we, on one hand, we want to create IoT ecosystems. On the other hand, I might have different connectivity technologies for different sensors, and you should be able to use all of them in one unified layer. Our product is multi-tenant capable, meaning you're also able to have different customers on that program, all with the same user interface, and you can have a unified experience with that TTN and other access technologies. That makes it much easier for you to process your IoT fleet. As I said before, it's a unified experience when using LoRaWAN technologies with other connectivities, for example, narrowband IoT. It's multi-tenant capable, so you can use it for multiple customers. Your user interface is great. You have a fast deployment, and you have the whole device and data processing and the data storage in one single place. Exactly. I think it's demo time, and I'm going to hand over to Lucas. Thank you.
Thank you for the introduction, Jonas. I'm going to take over now. So the introduction showed you our entire product. I'm going to show to you today how to integrate the TTN application into our car. So we're going to start here on our website, just akenza.com. And if you are new to Akenza Core or Akenza, you can register here. Otherwise, you can log in to the Core platform just like this. So if you have a fresh account, you can see you're going to start here in our Core product. And of course, if you start with a fresh environment, you want to start integrating some LoRa or other accounts. So as you can see here, we have this integration tab. I'm going to click on here. And like Jonas said, we have a lot of different technologies that you can connect with our car. I'm going to connect the Things Network now. And it's very easy to connect such integrations. I'm going to show it now for the TTN. So now we're going to need some configuration details here to be able to connect with TTN network. So for that, you're going to need also a TTN network account. I already logged in there, and we're going to need to get some information out of there, like the application API key or some application IDs. I'm going to show to you now how to create these different keys and how to configure it here. First of all, I'm going to give it a name. So that's the TTN integration. And I go to the TTN network console. I already created an application. So under applications, you can create new applications and give that application an ID. And this ID is the first thing that we're going to need. We're going to copy that and paste it to the application ID here. As well, on the application view, you can see that you can create access keys here. That's the API key that we can communicate with the TTN network. Under Manage Keys, you can add, generate a new key. And what we need is that this key has device and messages rights, that it works. And you can give here a name. I already did that, so I created an Akenza key. And in the overview, you can now see this key here. And I'm going to copy that. I'm going to need that as well. And I can paste it here, the key section. Okay. Now, next thing we're going to fill out is the host. The host is an URL where we have to send our API calls to. And I just show you here the host address for the European TTN network. So that's this address. All this information, if you can't follow or are confused, is also available here in the integration guide. So if you are not in Europe, you can find out the host address in the integration guide. For US, for example, it's US Things Network, or Brazil Things Network. It's very easy to change this. So that was the host address. Now we need integration ID. This one is wrong. So the integration ID is also something that we have to configure here in the TTN console. And it's under integrations. And I have to add here an integration, HTTP integration. For what do we need that? As soon as a TTN network receives data from any sensor that we later will register on the network, it needs to send us these data points to the core. And this integration configuration will now set up this connection to our core. So as well, I'm gonna give it the process ID. I select the same key that I just generated in the application overview. So that's the access token again. And for the endpoint, so that's where the data is sent when TTN receives any sensor data. I'm gonna have to go back to the Akenza Core, and you can see here the uplink URL. I need to copy this and configure this in the integration. So that's it. That was the entire configuration of the integration in the TTN console. Now, the integration ID, we can copy it here and paste the integration ID here. What else do we need? Now we also gonna need a downlink URL. So that's the opposite. We now connected the uplink when a sensor is sending data to TTN network, and TTN network sends us this data to the Akenza Core. Now we want to send downlinks to the device. For that, we also gonna need some an URL, and the URL is structure looks like this, and the region. Again, we need to adapt the region depending on where we are. So for Europe, it is TTN EU. And you can also see in an integration guide for all the other countries or regions what you have to paste here. The access key is again the key that we already configured here. So I'm gonna copy that and paste it to the key. And now I can take the entire string and paste it here to the downlink URL. So now that's it. That was the entire configuration. When we click Save now, we are connected to the TTN network. I'm going to save that now. So that was the integration configuration. What we want to do now is creating a device and sending some data to the device and receiving it in the Akenza Core. So what do we have to configure now? The only thing that we need to create first before we create the device is a domain. Domains are used to separate different technologies. So I will now create the TTN LoRa domain. And the technology, you can see here, like Jonas as well mentioned, we have a lot of different technologies, as well as some prepared LoRa accounts. But now we want to connect it to our customer TTN integration that we just created. We select this here. And the pass-through functions here, means that all the data that is received by the TTN network is just not parsed, it's just passed through to our device. I will explain to you later, just some short notice about how to enrich the data with more information. You can later write the decryptor which parses the data in a much more fancy way than pass through it. So, but we're gonna go for the most easy way now with pass through, and go to integration inventory, and we don't have any device yet, so let's add one. That's a TTN device, and the device type is already prepared. It's as well. Here you can also do some fancy stuff with received data, can parse it, can enrich the data with some more information, but more about that later. I just select the pass-through device type, the domain we just created, and now, because it's a LoRa domain, you're gonna have to enter the specific LoRa information as well. That's the device URI. I already prepared one. So I'm gonna have to set the device URI. I have to select if it's over the air or ABP. Depending on what you select here, you have to enter different keys. But I'm gonna go with over the air now. So I add this configuration. This configuration, you can normally read it from your device. And I'm gonna save it. And now that's the most important step. I register it to the TTN network. And as you can see now, it's registered. I'm gonna show to you now how this looks in the TTN network console. If you look at devices now here, you have now the new created device that we just created in the Akenza Core with all the same configurations that I entered. And one really cool feature here is that we can simulate uplinks now. So I can show you very easy how the data is going through the network and arriving at the Akenza Core. So I'm gonna send a very easy 2 bytes of data, send it, and if everything is configured right, you can now see that we have one data point received from the network. And we have also enriched this with some information. We can see that when the last data point was arriving, you can also see the port that was used, where the frame counter is. It's 0 because it's the first message. As well, in the data tab, you can now see here the data point that we sent in more detail. And you can see here all the information that we received by the TTN network. And as well, we already converted the payload into a hexadecimal payload here. But that's everything we do when we select the pass-through device type. So now we want to enrich this payload with more information. And for that, we already have prepared device types that already understand what the device is sending to us. So at the moment, we have this pass-through device type. And if I go here and look at the uplink script, you can see that this just simply takes the uplink event from TTN and just emits a sample with this same event. But now we want to create a new device type. So if my device is a known device, off-the-shelf device, then we already have prepared device types for that. And if you have a device that we don't have in the prepared templates, you can contact us, and I'm sure we're gonna have a solution for that as well. So how to create a new device type from a template? You can here create a new device type, select the template, and I'm gonna select here now a ComTech device. Select what I want to import. I want to import everything. Apply these properties and save it. Now, as you can see here, we now know what these bits that were sent from the device mean. So this device has a lot of information, and we already enriched this in a JavaScript way and sent this sample as a sample to the device. So this means that we now have a lot of more information about the payload that was received by the device. As well, when you go further now, you can now create rules and trigger downlinks depending on the values that you receive here, and connect other integrations, connect them together in some rule, and you can do a lot of fancy stuff. If you want to have more information about that, if you are interested now, just go to the help section here and click on documentation. And in the Akenza Core documentation here, you can see a lot of user manuals that explain how you now can do the scripting, how you create rules, and so on. And I hope you will find all your information that you need here. Otherwise, you can contact us. And now let's come to an end. We are Akenza. We are making IoT as simple as possible. And I hope you are interested now to integrate some network to our car and work with us. If you have further questions, you can contact us. Jonas will be happy to answer all your questions.
Thank you very much, Lucas, for the live demonstration. I'm looking forward to work with all the people in the TTN community, and happy to be here. Thank you very much for listening to us.